I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey guys, Swiggy here. It's March 20th, the first day of online schooling. The video production class will be keeping you all updated with announcements starting Monday, March 23rd. You'll be able to find them on the paw print. Before we go, we have a video on the dance team.
The dance team's last performance brought out a lot of emotions from the seniors who are leaving and the underclassmen who will be taking over next year's team.
My name's Paris and I'm a senior. It was a really good season, but I'm also really sad that it did end because it was such a bright part of my day, you know. Being at school, it's kind of stressful, and then at the end of the day, just getting to hang out with all the girls and dance. It was just a really good stress reliever.
My name is Keisha. I'm in 11th grade. Basically, beginning of the dance, when we start dancing and then got to the end, I just realized in my head, I was like, wow, this is going to be the end of the year, end of the season, and end of the seniors. And I was just like, I'm thinking in my head, I was like, wow, this is actually going to happen. And for me, who was a junior, and if I do dance team next year, it's just going to be the same thought over again. So yeah.
Both achieved what they never thought possible.
So I was a figure skater for, I think, 12 years, and so you'd imagine that I'd be flexible. Wrong. I was not flexible at all. But then when we started dancing and just stretching every day, I was surprised I could even get my leg up that high. You know, by the end of the season, I probably had doubled my kick height.
Try not to get nervous a lot during the performance or before the performance.
Despite the great season, Keisha said she's not 100% sure if she will continue to dance next year.
I don't know if I want to do it, but some people tell me I should because I did really good this year. My mom told me I should do it next year.
At the end of the night, the girls gathered in the high school cafeteria for some final words.
We were always hanging out in the field house or on the court, and I think it was a really good way to end the season because we were all eating pizza and we were all receiving awards. I think it was the perfect way to end the season. But I think next year I'm really gonna miss not being on dance team.
Join dance team next year. Basically for this year I was the only junior, so I got a lot of experiment from seniors, sophomores, and freshmen. I met a lot of new people, made some new friends. So do dance team next year and you will have a lot more fun.
Have a great day, Tigers. Swiggy out!
Aye.
Okay, I thought so.
Valiant Women of the Vote. That's the 2020 Women's History Month theme. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sue Leadholm, and welcome to our third installment of our exploration of how women earned the right to vote in Wisconsin. In our first episode, Mrs. Halverson talked to you about the early years of the movement. I'm picking up on the story today to tell you about someone I'm sure you've never heard of before. I haven't even heard of her. She's an amazing woman named Reverend Olympia Brown. This Michigan-born reverend was the first woman ordained as a minister in the United States, and she moved to Racine, Wisconsin in 1878. During the 1880s, she became the president of the Wisconsin Suffrage Association, and she devoted the remainder of her life to the cause of equal rights for women. In 1885, Brown and another Wisconsin suffragist and other Wisconsin suffragists appeared to score an early victory when the legislature granted women the right to vote in elections pertaining to school matters. In other words, women were able to vote in school board elections beginning in 1885. This was an important step towards fuller involvement. Olympia Brown later was the founding member of the National Women's Party, formed in 1913, to more strongly push for the right to vote. She was one of over 1,000 women who picketed in front of the White House in 1917. This eventually forced President Wilson to support the cause of women's suffrage. She cast her first vote for president at the age of 87 in 1920. Like many women, some remembered and many forgotten, Reverend Brown paved the way for millions of women to vote. And who knows, maybe someday all of us will see our first woman president. Thanks for listening.